Howdy. So I have a little highlight moment I want to share with you guys. Kind of an epiphany I had last night, or yesterday afternoon actually, when I was at work. Oh, look, I'm walking. I see the background moving. I am outside enjoying a beautiful day outside on a hammock. My son is actually inside practicing a play for Adventure Week, and I'm sitting over in the grass at church in a hammock under a beautiful tree. And anyway, just enjoying a great day. But that all aside, that means nothing to this. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the epiphany I had yesterday. I was listening to a lady talking, and the conversation had led up to the 10 virgins who are waiting on the bridegroom. And initially, you know, they all had something very much in common. They were 10 ladies. They were all virgins, so they were clean and pure. They were waiting for the bridegroom to come and get them to go into the wedding party. They did not know, none of them knew when the bridegroom was going to show up. It was just whenever his father sent him to go claim the bridegroom, or the virgins, when he would come. So they're waiting and waiting and waiting. Where the difference comes in is that there are 5 women who were wise, and there were 5 women who were foolish. The 5 virgins that were wise had brought their oil lamps, filled their oil lamps, and on top of that, they had some oil in reserve in some jars. So they brought extras with them. The foolish wives, or not wives, but virgins, were not wise in that sense. They brought their oil lamps, they filled them up with oil. They did not think to bring extra with them in jars. Oh, there's one more thing they did have in common. They had grown tired in the waiting. So in the waiting for the Lord, waiting for the bridegroom, who is the Lord, in the parable. They had all grown tired along the time midnight came, and they fell asleep. And when they woke up, the foolish virgins had realized, oh, they're out of oil. They don't have any more. And so they turned to the wise women and said, hey, let us have some of your oil. And the wise women were like, girl, you gotta be crazy. I ain't sharing jack with you. If I share with you, I ain't gonna have enough to see me through and you. You need to do like I did and go get you some more. We'll be here. You go get you some more. Or no, they didn't say we'll be here, but you know, we're not going anywhere. You go get some more. And so while the foolish virgins had left to go get some more oil, the bridegroom came, and he claimed the virgins that were there, and they all went into the wedding feast. And when the foolish virgins came back, they were locked out because they weren't ready. They weren't prepared to receive the bridegroom when he came. And of course, we know that this story is a parable to when Jesus returns. Jesus is going to return. He says he comes like a thief in the night, and those who are prepared will be welcomed into the wedding feast, and those who are not will not be welcomed into the wedding feast. And this is where the epiphany hit me. These women who had gone and collected their oil in preparation, and they stored up extra for reserves. That reserve, they had spent time with the oil supplier, and in this case, Jesus. And they stored up enough to be able to see them through the waiting period, to persevere through that waiting period. So they spent a lot of time just preparing and making themselves ready for the waiting and the receiving of their bridegroom. And in this, Jesus is our oil supplier. We spend time with him. We store up all of our energy and thoughts, and our goals and our dreams, our treasures are all in the day that he's going to come and receive us, and we're going to be ready for him, right? So in the foolish wives, they didn't spend the time at the market where they needed to. They didn't go and get as much oil as they needed to. They didn't spend time at the suppliers enough to be ready for such a day as this. They just grabbed what they wanted to grab and thought they needed to grab for the moment, to supply the moment, not the duration. And in the relationship with Jesus, they did the same. That's what they were doing. Comparably, that's what they did, was that they didn't spend time with Jesus. They didn't set aside time to be with him, to store up, to get through those hard hard times in the waiting period to persevere. Instead, what they did was they would come pipe in, grab what they needed real quick, and hop out. Lord, there's a crisis. Come help me. God helps them. They're gone. They don't check back in until another crisis comes up. They're not there in the waiting and the calmed periods with him, right? And where the epiphany really hit was how many times have people who are just like me, virgins, clean and spotless, without blemish before Christ. We are children of God. Both of us have been forgiven and washed clean, right? We're all in the same boat there. I choose to sit in my prayer room. I like to spend most of my time in my prayer room as much as possible. Working, I like to be with my family, but you know, even in my family time, sometimes TV's not really my thing. I don't like to watch a whole lot of TV. Reading has always been my go-to, but even then, I'm finding for the past almost 3 years now, I haven't really found much pleasure in anything outside of Christ. He's my source of joy, and he's my go-to. I love the way he loves me, and I love receiving what he has for me. And so I go to receive from him daily, as often as I can throughout my day. And that's what sees me through. That's, you know, here we are in the waiting right now, in the waiting for Jesus's return. I don't know when he's going to be here. I know he's coming. And because I know he's coming, I am excited about that, and I'm ready and I'm waiting, but I'm not willing to give up my time that I spend with him in order to give my time to someone else. I have had people call, or they'll call and say, hey, why don't you come spend time with me? Hey, you want to watch this with me? Or hey, you want to go do that? And I'm like, no, I'm going to be back here. I'm going to be busy back here. And they're like, you're always in there, you ain't got time for whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't have time for that, because my time is with the Lord right now. So I'm not willing to sacrifice my time with the Lord in order to spend my time somewhere else. I'm busy storing up and preparing for my time with the Lord when he comes back. When my bridegroom comes to claim me and let me into the wedding feast, I am spending time preparing to be ready for that. In the meantime, I'm in the waiting, and I'm not ready to sacrifice and give up any of my oil in order to let somebody else have my oil, for their pleasure, for their use. And so, guard your oil. That's what this is. It. Guard your oil. The whole epiphany for me was the importance of guarding your oil, and not just, you got to store it up. Store it up, store it up, store it up, store it up. Spend time with the Lord and be ready to persevere. Stand firm and persevere. But don't let your stockpile be taken away from you. Don't give it out to anybody else. Hold on to your oil and be very protective of it. Okay? So that's it. I love you. Stay safe, stay strong, persevere, stay firm. I love you guys. God bless you.